DeBoer is a home run guy. This is the guy Greg Byrne needs to go after.
Kalen, DeBoer, and Alabama are on fire. Just absolutely on fire.
Alabama getting a great one.
They're getting a guy who's just flat won everywhere he's been.
He has a system in place, but with Alabama, the SEC, recruiting, everything he's going to have at his disposal.
That's going to be a problem for a long time for a lot of folks. Welcome, everybody, to the first edition of the Kalen DeBoer Show, brought to you by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart, along with the new head coach of the Crimson Tide. And I know this is not HGTV, but as I look around, I can't help but say, love what you've done with the place, and welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Welcome to the place. So it's good to get this season kicked off, so can't wait to do it.
A lot of renovations in here. And again, it's part of very much like the program itself, Coach. It's in good shape, but it's got to fit your mold and the way you want it to look. And part of that is the office. It's a beautiful total redo of this working space for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I tried to, there's just certain things that you do, a lot of the functional things probably as much as anything. I know there's a lot of aesthetics with it, but just the functional things that I know work for me and have worked for me. And so there's a lot of those pieces in here too. Just recruiting and the personal day-to-day stuff.
When you walk in, whether it be in here into this office, into the building, into your closet to pick out your gear, tell me the feeling of seeing the script A, or that old school A that a lot of us remember from Coach Bryant's days as well, that's pretty prominent now also.
Yeah, I think it's evolved already in just a short time here from just, wow, we're at Alabama and excited to take on the challenges here, but also now just, after a month or so, you kind of get into just, the norm, and the work is the work. I've said that kind of all along, whether it's myself, the staff, the team, and just the day-to-day operations. It's fun representing Alabama. It's fun, having a place that's got passionate fan base. It's fun having a team that, really just goes to work every single day. Such an enjoyable experience here these first 7 months.
Along those lines, 8 months, it's now home. It's the job. But if we could go back for just a second, we're going to see some footage. The plane lands in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Not your first time here, but your first time to be representing the Crimson Tide. The reception that you got, the realization, this is now our job, this is now our home. Your thoughts from that day?
Yeah, that was a fast 24 hours there for myself and my family. But in all honesty, like when we were on the way here, I already knew, just retention of the team, building of the staff, and there's steps we had to go through from meeting the team that night to a press conference. But having gone through what those steps were a couple times, I felt like I was pretty prepared, and I think we nailed it on a lot of the things that needed to happen pretty quickly. I think we were very efficient, and it helped us really retain the roster. Now, it wasn't just me. It was Greg Byrne, a lot of the staff that was here, giving me some inside information just that would help us get off the ground, and it's thank goodness for those minutes and those days where we acted the way we did, because the team really was open at that time. I think we were well received at that time with the staff that was being hired pretty much daily. And just can't think back, on those days and really regret anything as far as what we did, And it's led to some momentum at that time. It's led to continued momentum, and these guys, fortunately, have embraced everything that we've thrown at them, and excited here, not long now to be stepping on that football field and again representing the A that we talked about.
Representing the A, and you've just talked about a lot of the things that have to transpire, but the amazing turn of events that take place where you go from coaching in a national championship game on a Monday to being introduced publicly as the new head football coach at Alabama on a Saturday, hitting the ground running. I know this is not your first new job to have, but at the same time, this is a unique situation in that while there's some tweaks and changes and all the things you've already addressed, it's probably the best situation you've ever inherited in terms of what you're working with coming back and being able to pick up the ball and just rolling instead of rebuilding before you get going.
Yeah, and that's a credit to everyone who was here before me, and that starts with your leadership and Greg Byrne, President Dr. Bell, and then on through the administration here, that I work with each and every day. So many just helping me get off in the right direction, but yeah, just a lot of people that made this thing go from the get-go, and obviously, Coach Saban, and there's a lot of people that have poured into this program, but Coach Saban and everything he's done, just not just about gaining momentum, it's about building something really special, something that's got a lot of depth, something that's got a lot of substance to it, and that didn't just happen overnight. It didn't happen without a lot of hard work, and just can't give enough credit to Coach on everything he did to build a foundation that allowed us to really do all the things we just talked about in a way where we were able to, I don't want to say recover, but really be able to put ourselves in a spot where we can be competitive, extremely competitive, and have those expectations that this program, has and will continue to have in the years ahead.
It was indeed a whirlwind, but one more time, let's take a look back at the first week of Alabama football with Kalen DeBoer as the head coach.
Culture that he's created and the player development, everything he's done, there's a lot of loyalty right there.
We will build a culture one day at a time. One day at a time.
It's not just about the championships. I met with the team last night and heard from them and heard why they came here. Obviously, there was a major piece of that where they came here because Coach Saban and Miss Terry, poured everything into them, and they just saw the vision and wanted to be a part of it. But Coach Saban, thank you for all you've done, for laying the foundation for myself. It's a privilege to be chosen to be in this role. It's one I don't take lightly. I'm looking forward to the new journey that lies ahead. I'm looking for those new challenges here. Cannot wait, like I said, to roll up my sleeves with all of you, with our team, okay, and go to battle each and every day, each and every week, each and every year. So thank you, and roll Tide.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Back for the inaugural edition of the Kalen DeBoer Show presented by Truckworks. Chris Stewart with the coach of the Crimson Tide, and talk to us about fall camp, getting things going. Finally, after all of everything else that's required, you get on the field with your football team for the first time.
Yeah, as much as it seemed like it took forever to get here, it happened real fast. And once we got going, it's just been a lot of fun here, seeing these guys, the expectations coming in, leading to the work that they put forth. It's one thing to have goals, but the actions have to support those goals. And these guys do that. And that's what makes this a lot of fun. Fall camp, just every single day, I feel like we've gotten the best out of these guys. We challenge them to bring their best energy, attitude, and effort, and they've done that. And so it starts with the coaching staff who provides the direction, the parameters, there shouldn't be a lot of motivation that's needed, but that's our job too, and these guys are extremely motivated, but I got a coaching staff that brings it every single day. And, I think our players see that, and they, not just the work, but also the camaraderie, the chemistry that exists that trickles down to them. Might be position groups, it might be offense to defense. It's really been a team effort that I'm very proud of up to this point.
How much did it help the transition that you had a quarterback returning that bought in not only to stay, but bought into you and your staff and helped lead in the locker room in terms of getting everybody else to follow?
No question that Jalen's been a huge part of that, consistent momentum building, just, you know, his energy, all those things I mentioned earlier, his attitude, the effort he puts in. He's one of the first guys here every morning, and that's never wavered. And you know, it's something when it's your quarterback. It's something when you got a guy that, you know, he wants to prove some things too. You know, he had a great season, but I know he feels that there's even better to be had, and that there needs to be better. And so, yeah, he's been super special, and it's been fun building a relationship with him here, not just this fall, but all season, all off season as well.
We know what's coming back on offense, and obviously some new additions and key pieces there. But a lot of people that I've talked to are interested in what the defense would look like. Give us some names that you've seen already in camp, not necessarily just in a performance standpoint, but guys that, much like Jalen, you can point to from a leadership standpoint that, oh, by the way, you hope can make plays as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys, and
that's a good problem.
That's a good problem. But you know, I think, you know, you start with our guys who are captains, and Malachi Moore, and a lot of the snaps that he's taken along with Deontay Lawson. Just the stability that they bring, and it's a presence that they have that is just so impressive each and every day. And there's never a drop off in their focus, their leadership, and you know that those two, just the playmaking is part of it, and it goes on to, you know, the guys that are playing next to him, and Keon Sabb, and you know, Jahad Campbell, and linebacking core has done a nice job. Justin Jefferson's done a great job, you know, really rising up and bringing it, not just on defense, but also, you know, in special teams. And so, you know, up front, it's been a lot of different faces that are rotating through there. And you naturally look to a Tim Smith. You know, you naturally, you know, think about, you know, bigger guys, right? And I'm excited about what Jaheim Mobitus has done interior-wise and what he could be. You know, Jamarian Latham on the edge, along with LT Overton, have been constant pass rushers, guys that can cause a lot of problems in the backfield. Again, I know I'm missing a lot of guys, but it's been really fun seeing them compete. The cornerback position, it's got a mix of, you know, a guy who's played some snaps and a lot of guys who haven't. You know, with you know, that position being very young, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for what these guys have done defensively. They really feed off each other. I think the front, you know, creates enough problem to where the back half can, you know, take advantage of opportunities and make plays. But I also think the back half has done a good job of being on the same page to where, you know, they buy a little extra second for the defensive front to do their thing as well.
As we're a week away from kickoff, let's get into some of the highlights that we've seen so far in fall camp.
So many positives, so many 1-0 moments. Let's make sure that we're 1-0 walking off this field. Hey, B-side foul, D, 1, 2, 3. B-side foul.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Welcome back to more of the Kalen DeBoer Show presented by Truckworks. Coach, one of the things that I think Bama fans had grown accustomed to is the star power of the fall camp speakers, and that's something that you've kept going here in Tuscaloosa. A lot of familiar faces coming in to share some really important messages with your players.
No question. And I think this year I tried to scale it back just a little bit because I wanted to make sure that a lot of the meetings that we had were still, you know, things that I was sharing about, you know, what I wanted our culture to feel like, that we were in control of a lot of that, whether it be, you know, myself or our coaching staff, just internally. But there's obviously just so many great speakers that can come in and share some things, and we had the opportunity to do that this year, again during fall camp.
Yeah, great names and very familiar faces, such as the ones you'll see in this look at our fall camp speakers. This feature brought to you by our friends at CB&S Bank.
We had sacrifice for one another, we held each other accountable, and we just loved on each other. And we put the work in. There ain't no shortcuts. Everyone always wants to know, like, how did you get to play 12 years in the league? How did you win the Heisman Trophy? There ain't no shortcuts, dog. Like, you gotta take the stairs. You can't go to the elevator and be down here and go to floor 10. Like, no. In order to be successful, you gotta put the work in. Day in, day out. It ain't no secret recipe. It's hard work, it's dedication, it's commitment, it's sacrifice. It's how bad do you want it. It's like never shying away from competition. Everywhere you go, there's gonna be competition. Everywhere you go, there's gonna be competition. And you shouldn't shy away from competition because competition is gonna make you better. It's gonna make your teammate better. We knew the year before we came up short. We ain't finished the game. Had we did that, we would have been in that championship. But we had a vision that we was gonna get back, whatever it took, we was gonna get back to that moment. We put the work in, we held each other accountable, we loved on each other, we had each other's back, we spent time with each other outside of the facility. We knew each other. We spent time with each other's families. In order to be a successful team, in order to be a tight team, y'all gotta get tight. Can't nothing break y'all. Y'all gotta get tight. Can't nothing break y'all. Cause if y'all could be broken out here, what's gonna happen in the trenches when it's 100,000 screaming and it's crunch time? It's crunch time. I can't let him down. I can't let him down. I can't let my brother down. I gotta do my job so he can do his job. If I don't do my job right, he can't do his job right. And if he can't do his job, we can't be successful.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
With the new head coach, as usual, comes a look at new assistants as well, and certainly new coordinators. On the offensive side, Nick Sheridan; defensively, Kane Womack, guys that may be new to the University of Alabama, but coach, certainly are not new to you or the game itself in college.
Yeah, I've known these guys for a while, and the best part about it is that I've coached with them, and I think that's always really key. I wasn't a head coach necessarily with these guys; I was assistant with them, and so I know who they truly are. And Kane Womack and I were the coordinators at Indiana together, and Nick was with me there as well, and that's when we first all really kind of became tight and got to know each other. And the last 2 years, Nick's been with me at Washington and really helped us grow the offense. And the system has been in place and been built over many years, but each year, it kind of takes on, goes off in different tangents just because of the personnel that we have. But these guys are just great people. They are all about the team. They understand the pressure to do well on their side of the ball, but they first and foremost are going to put wins ahead of everything. And whatever they do, the decisions they're making, I'm confident that's to help us win football games.
Coach Sheridan with a great resume and track record, but head coaching jobs at the Division I level are rare and coveted, and Kane Womack gave up a good one to come work with you again on your staff here at a place. Tell me what gave you the desire to make that call to him, but also would allow him to leave a situation where he was the boss to come and work with you at a place like Alabama?
I'd let him speak for himself on his decision and why, but I know, again, just working with him, I understood what he did with the defenses that he's run just every day. When I was a coordinator at Indiana, I could see it, and, game days saw it, as well. He just is a super high-level competitor. Understands how to bring people together, whether it's his staff, whether it's the team, and just the high expectations and his familiarity with the region, his familiarity with SEC football, goes back some time. His dad was a coordinator in the SEC for many years as well, and for him to leave out South Alabama, it meant a lot to me. It says a lot about just, the relationship we had, his belief, not just in Alabama, but myself and the staff that we would build around us. But it's been awesome here, this first off season and now fall camp. Really seeing him, continue to build on what he was doing, whether it be his system or just him build the defense up. And he, pushes these guys to their limits, but also, really understands the impact he has on them and the uniqueness of how to bring guys together in a special way.
We've heard Coach DeBoer talk about them. Now let's let you learn more about the coordinators and the staff as we go Mercedes-Benz All Access.
Eyes, drive it, good. With urgency today. Hurry up. Let's go, moving with urgency. Communicate like game day. Let's go. Come on, have a day. Here we go. Good, on the hop. Good job. Good run. You catch. Hell yeah, catch. There it is. Bail, eyes. Here it is. Make a play. Everybody up. Let's go. Hurry up. Shake it up. Nice job. Well
The
done.
Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Ford. The Ford F-150 helps make your game day traditions bigger and better, season after season.
Well, as we wrap up the first edition of the Coach Kalen DeBoer Show presented by TruckWorks, what's next for the first time with you is what's first, and that's your game as head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, it's exciting to finally see some new faces across from offense and defensive lines, and not be beating on ourselves anymore. These guys have put a lot of work in, and you get 25 practices, and we've maximized those. And so excited to play someone else. And there comes a point too where you just got to really see where you're at. And we have feel like we've had a high level camp, but there comes a point to just throw the ball out there and let's play ball, and I know they're really excited to have a game day, be in the stadium, all the, fan support that, it takes place in a special way at Bryant-Denny Stadium there. Just really looking forward to Saturday.
Looking forward to it as well. Again, August 31st, 6 o'clock Central Kick, ESPN televising it, radio coverage starting at 3 o'clock on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. The beginning of the Kalen DeBoer era as the Tide takes on Western Kentucky. Coach, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to many more of these over the course of the years, and we look forward to talking to you next time right here on the Coach Kalen DeBoer Show presented by TruckWorks.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.